Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at HyundaiSonata.com.
Thanks for joining us on Autoline Daily today. Here's some of the news that you will need to know to keep up with what's going on in the global automotive industry. Now, we've got some more information on the hybrid version of the Lincoln MKZ. It will use the same Atkinson cycle 2-liter engine that goes in the hybrid version of the Ford Fusion, but the MKZ will deliver a combined 45 miles per gallon. That's about 5 liters per 100 kilometers, but it's also 2 less MPGs than the Fusion, mainly because the MKZ does not use low rolling resistance tires. Ford does not charge a premium for the hybrid version of the MKZ. You can get one for the same price as the V6 version. Base price is $36,800 with destination charges, and Lincoln has the Lexus ES300H directly in its crosshairs. The MKZ hybrid gets 5 more miles per gallon combined and costs $2,750 less than the Lexus. Currently, the take rate for the hybrid version of the MKZ is under 20%, but Lincoln clearly wants to take that take rate up with the new model. Here's a recap on Hurricane Sandy. The bad news is hundreds of thousands of vehicles were destroyed on the east coast of the United States. The good news is they're all going to have to be replaced. The National Auto Dealers Association says around 200,000 vehicles are going to have to be replaced. Toyota, Nissan, Chrysler, and Honda are going to have to scrap around 15,000 new vehicles. Ford and GM do not yet have their estimates in for their damaged vehicles, but believe me, this is going to be a big boost to the automotive industry in the months to come. Speaking of big news, here's some big news involving 2 of the largest automotive suppliers in the world. German auto supplier Bosch has sold its entire stake in Japanese supplier Denso. According to Bloomberg, Bosch sold its 5.4% stake for about $1.4 billion because it wants to diversify its business and make investments in other industries. The 2 companies still plan to collaborate, however. You know, I remember when 6 speeds seemed like a lot in a transmission. Now it seems there's a race on to see who can come up with the most gears. But the CEO of ZF Transmission says the race should end at 9. That is the natural limit, he says, because then you hit the law of diminishing returns, meaning more gears add weight and complexity that cannot be offset by gains in fuel efficiency. Even so, as we've reported before, Hyundai, GM, and Ford all have 10-speed transmissions already in the works. Okay, over to China for the moment. China's lead market may see a shortage next year as growth in sales of lead-acid batteries boosts demand. Output of lead-acid batteries in the first 3 quarters of the year jumped 28%, while forecasts figure a doubling of production by 2015. But the data suggests that consumption is going to rise nearly 9% a year, with output gaining only a little over 5%. You know, we love getting your questions and comments, but we also want you to send us any cool car pictures you come across. Check out these photos of car haulers from around 60 years ago that Jim Adcock from Yakima, Washington sent to us. It's amazing to see how much smaller car haulers were back then, though they sure have a lot of style and character to them. And as Jim points out, imagine how tough the drivers must have been to be able to drive these rigs without power steering or any other modern comforts. And if you've got any pictures you want to share with us, send them to viewer mail at AutolineDetroit.tv. We'll take videos too. Just upload them to your favorite video sharing service like YouTube. Send us the link, and you just might see them on a future show.
I'm Craig Cole in a San Francisco neighborhood that's being refreshed, and coming up next I'll show you a crossover that's receiving the same treatment.
You know why I pulled you over, ma'am? I need you to recalibrate the Doppler shift on the return signal. Radar's on the frisk.
Do Sonata drivers know something you don't? The Sonata from Hyundai.
For 2013, Chevrolet significantly updated its full-size crossover, the Traverse. The base price only went up by about $800 despite major improvements both inside and out.
Well, there's a lot of refinement design changes. We've completely redesigned a front end and made it much more stylish, more in the style of the family Q. We've changed up the hood, we've changed up the rear end, gave it a lot more personality, especially around the license plate bracket. You'll see a completely new interior and refined all the way up through the various trims to our LTZ level.
The Traverse is better looking and more comfortable than before, but there were big engineering changes on the menu as well.
Well, the most significant change is going to be in the transmission controls. And so we've redone the entire control system for the transmission. You're going to get quicker, smoother shifts, and with the adaptive capability, when you start driving it, the transmission's going to learn how you drive, and it's going to optimize your fuel economy for the way that you drive. And I really think customers are going to be surprised at the real-world fuel economy improvements that they're going to get with this new Traverse.
In the real world, those enhancements translate to 18 miles per gallon in the city, 24 on the highway for a front-wheel drive Traverse. All-wheel versions drop 1 mpg respectively. Reporting from San Francisco, California for Autoline Daily, I'm Craig Cole.
Man, I sure do like that front-end styling, the new front-end styling on Chevrolets. I never liked that dual port thing, so I'm glad they got rid of it. Hey, don't forget to join us tonight for Autoline After Hours. The Auto Extremist and I will be sharing some of the latest insider information that we've picked up on. And then we have Sandy Monroe joining us to share what he learned in reverse engineering vehicles, such as the Chevrolet Volt and Toyota Venza. So join us tonight for the best insider's look at what's going on in this business, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Autoline.tv. And that wraps up today's report. Please join us again tomorrow.